Hello there, and welcome. Welcome to this space. Welcome to a place created for one simple purpose: to give you a moment of rest. This channel is an invitation to pause, to soften, to gently step away from everything that usually asks something of you. Here, you do not need to perform. You do not need to decide. You do not need to solve anything. This story, this journey, is an invitation to let go, to lean back for a moment, to allow yourself to return to the present, to meet this moment exactly as it is. Quiet, open, and safe. If, lately, your thoughts have been moving in circles, if your mind has felt busy or restless, if it has been difficult to fully arrive in the here and now, this space is for you. Find a place where you feel comfortable, perhaps a bed, perhaps a chair, perhaps simply a position where your body can begin to soften. You do not need to prepare anything. You do not need to achieve anything. Allow your shoulders to relax. Let your breath slow down, gently, naturally. This story will accompany you like a calm presence beside you. It will guide you without effort into a state of ease, into a feeling of quiet safety, into a space where rest becomes possible again. Before we begin, one small thought to carry with you. In these stories, a quiet presence returns again and again, a mysterious cube, gentle and powerful, able to open doors to places we did not know we were longing for. If you feel curious about where it comes from, about how it first found us, then the story of the Orient Express is waiting for you. That is where the journey with the cube truly begins. All you need to do is listen. Let the words pass through you. Let the images unfold on their own. Feel how tension slowly dissolves, how your body becomes heavier, how your thoughts begin to quiet. This journey is for you, for your rest, for your sleep, for your heart. And when you are ready, we can begin. We are on holiday. London lies before us like a promise we have carried inside for a long time. And now that it has finally come true, we behave as though we must fulfill it as quickly as possible. We move from landmark to landmark, as if an invisible stopwatch is running beside us. We collect impressions, but we give them hardly any time to settle. We take photographs when we should simply be looking. We hurry when we could be standing still. And while we keep telling ourselves that this is rest, we notice, quietly, almost a little ashamed, that this holiday sometimes feels like another list, only with a prettier backdrop. In the evening, we are still outside, not because we have to, but because we arranged it that way for ourselves. If we are already here, then we should see everything. We are in St. James's Park. The paths feel soft in the twilight, and the stretches of water we glimpse between the trees lie like dark mirrors. The city is close, and yet this park feels like nature making a small excuse for itself in the middle of stone and history. Then the rain begins, with that London persistence that is not dramatic, only patient. First, a fine drizzle, changing the air more than our clothes. Then the drops grow larger. They find the fabric. They find the collar. They gather on our eyelashes. And before we truly understand it, the sky tips into a downpour, as if it has decided to empty itself now, all at once. We lift our shoulders. We walk faster. We search for light, for an overhang, for a door that is open. We leave the park toward the brighter streets. But instead of staying on a familiar route, we drift, as if pulled by an unspoken current, into side paths, shortcuts, lanes that do not feel like a big city at all, but like a London that exists only for itself. We look at the smartphone. The map shows lines and names, and yet we turn into a narrow passage that appears on the screen as harmless as a single stroke, and in reality is suddenly tighter than we expected, as if the city is holding its breath here. The noises of the main streets fall away. The rain sounds different. It no longer splashes in wide sheets. It drips into gutters, taps against brick, runs down stone ornament, collects in small dark puddles that send the lamplight back in trembling mirrors. Brick walls draw closer. Windows are high and narrow. Above one door hangs a wrought iron sign with a gilded key. Another sign, faded lettering, reads, "Antiquarian Books." And as we pass, we feel a cool draft from a door crack, smelling of paper and dust. We find ourselves on Cecil Court, that short, distinctive link between Charing Cross Road and St. Martin's Lane. Victorian facades stand there like a row of well-dressed witnesses to an older time. It is late. Most shops are closed. And yet the street signs remain. And the shop windows, even in the rain, seem to keep whispering their stories in secret. We keep walking. And suddenly, without planning it, the even narrower angles pull us onward, toward a place where London sometimes feels like a brick-built stage, a passage, an arch, a slim corridor, and we are standing in Goodwin's Court. That narrow, almost theatrical lane where the tall brick walls and the old lamps feel as though they have not only seen time, but held it. The rain has less room here, and yet everything is wet, shining, alive. we realize we are soaked through. Fabric hangs heavy. Cold creeps into our sleeves. And in that exact moment, as we instinctively draw a hand closer to our body to warm our fingers, we feel it. Something is in our hand. A small weight. Sudden. Even though we did not take anything out. The cube. It is simply there. As if it has found us again. In the rain. In the too much. In the rushing. We do not look at it with fear. We feel something closer to relief. Because by now we recognize this pattern. When the cube appears, it does not mean danger. It means guidance. And we allow ourselves to be guided. We walk on, and the lanes, step by step, seem to arrange themselves on their own, as if London is twisting its tangled threads into one single, quiet path. Then something strange happens. A street that was so narrow 2 people could barely pass one another opens suddenly, not into a broad main road, but into a small, hidden courtyard, a colorful, intimate island in the middle of stone, as if it is a place you only find when you happen to step through the one correct passage. Neil's yard. A small, hidden courtyard near Covent Garden. 7 dials. It truly feels like a discovery because it appears so unexpectedly. And in the middle of this courtyard, there is a shop, as if it is an island, as if it belongs here, and yet also does not. Its facade looks old, as though it stood here before the surrounding buildings found their colors. Above the door is a sign. The letters do not push themselves forward. They seem to lie in the light, as if formed from the warm glow itself. In the windows, there is no merchandise you would simply buy. There are things you would rather meet. No fashion, no souvenirs. Instead, objects you cannot place at once. A glass vessel holding something like fine mist. A metal chain that seems to breathe inside itself, as though it moves while hanging perfectly still. A book lying open. Its pages not white, but like parchment. And its writing sometimes feels as if it is not on the paper, but behind it. We know without thinking. This is the place. The cube is warm in our hand. And when we open the door, a small bell rings. Inside, it is warm. The air smells of wood, of resin, of old paper, and of something we cannot name, because it is not an ordinary scent, more a feeling, a fine echo of incense, like a memory that never left the room. We are wet, truly wet. Water drips from our jacket. Our shoes squeak softly on the floor, and 2 people in the shop turn toward us. They wear cloaks, heavy, dark, but their clothing does not look like costume. It looks like everyday life, only from another era. Their eyes are not unkind, but surprised, as though they did not expect someone like us soaked, modern, obviously ordinary, to be able to cross this threshold at all. Before we can explain ourselves, something happens. Beside the door stands a tall, narrow stand, like a coat rack, and on it rests a hat, wide-brimmed, unassuming, as if it were only felt. The hat lifts, as if it has its own awareness. It glides into the air, floats toward us, and settles without pressure onto our head. In the same instant, we feel the wetness being drawn out of our clothes. Not frantic, not jerking, like a sponge absorbing water. The cold vanishes. The heavy drag of soaked fabric releases. Water no longer beads on our sleeves. It is as if the hat has gathered the entire weight of the rain. And then it flies back, dripping like a freshly closed umbrella, to the stand, and lowers itself into a little tray like a drip basin, as if this place has always had a device for exactly such moments. And we stand there, dry sleeves, warm shoulders, and that fine, childlike wonder in the chest, the kind you rarely allow yourself in everyday life because you explain it away too quickly. We smile, not wide, not loud, more as though we have just discovered a door we never knew existed in the world, and as though, without effort, we happen to be holding the right key, because we understand immediately without needing to say it. Something magical is happening again. And this time, we feel not the slightest urge to fight it, to analyze it, to doubt it. We feel only a quiet anticipation, the kind we had as children when we heard voices behind a curtain announcing a story. The two cloaked men are still watching us. Their eyes move briefly over our coat, our shoes, over what would be ordinary clothing in another shop, but here looks like a foreign body. Not contempt, more astonishment, as if they have seen that the door has opened for someone it does not usually open for. And while we look at them, we notice, after the slight delay wonder sometimes needs, how unusual their appearance truly is. Heavy fabrics that swallow light, buckles not for decoration, but for purpose. A glove hanging from a belt, as if it might be needed at any moment. Everything about them feels old, but not old-fashioned, rather as though they wear their era the way we wear ours, without thinking. We want to say something, but there is no sentence that fits. And before we must decide, we notice something else. The cube in our hand is warm. Not only warm, alive warm, like a small source of stillness. It lies in our palm so naturally, as if it belongs here, as if it is not only our companion, but our entry ticket. We step farther into the shop, slowly. The floor is wood. It gives slightly beneath our steps, not creaking like an old attic, but with that muted tone that tells you many have walked here, and the wood has learned to carry weight. Ladders stand ready. Their rungs are polished smooth at the edges by the grip of many hands. Everywhere glass, everywhere metal, everywhere labels in fine handwriting. And the light is not harsh. It comes from lamps that glow rather than shine. It settles like honey on objects, as if it does not want to expose them, but to keep them safe. We pass a display case holding small instruments, so delicately made we cannot tell whether they are for measuring or for opening things that should not be opened. Nearby stand bottles with liquids whose colors do not stay still. A deep blue, as if a piece of night sky were trapped inside. A green, shimmering like young leaves in rain. A silver that does not gleam, it glows, as if made of fine dust. In a bowl lies a chain, so still it would almost be unnoticeable. And yet, when we look at it, we feel as if it breathes, not with movement, with presence. We stop before a shelf where boxes and tins are lined up neatly. Some labels are understandable, others are like abbreviations. Only the initiated would know. We read what we can, and what we cannot read, we somehow still sense, as if the handwriting itself carries the meaning. Salve against curse marks. When the ban writes itself into skin. Powder to shorten overlong spell durations. Use sparingly. Moon glass vessel for storing fleeting essences. Tincture for the voice when words freeze in the throat. We smile again because even these sentences, strange as they are, do not feel like play. They feel like household knowledge from another order, as if curses and counter-curses belong on these shelves as naturally as salt and pepper belong in our kitchens. A little farther on, between two tall shelves, two mirrors hang on the wall, large, heavily framed. The glass is dark, like still water, and yet it is not ordinary mirror glass. We step closer. Our face does not appear, not even blurred. It does not appear at all. Instead, we see space, another corner, another light, a corridor that should not be here. And in the second mirror, something similar, but in a different tone, as if you are looking through it into another house, another hall, perhaps even another city. The mirrors feel like doors that do not need to open because they were never closed. A fine draft moves along them, and we do not feel it on the skin. We feel it inside, like a tingling of attention. We look toward the two cloaked men. They now stand closer together. One has lowered his head slightly, as if speaking quietly. Then he looks up, directly at us. His gaze is brief, and in that gaze is something like, "You should not look at this too long." Not threatening, more a warning, the way you warn someone not to hold their hand too close to a fire before they know the heat. We remain there for a moment, as though someone has shown us a secret and asked us not to speak too loudly about it. And then, very gently, our attention is drawn elsewhere, to the counter. It stands at the end of the room like a quiet center. Dark wood, its edge gleaming as if countless hands have polished it. On it lie a notebook, a scale, a small quill, and behind it hangs a curtain, violet velvet, heavy, so dark it does not swallow light. It gathers it. It moves, not like a draft, more as though someone approaches behind it. Then it parts, and a man steps through. Old, yes, but not fragile. Old like a book that does not fall apart, only becomes richer. His beard is white, thick, well kept. On his nose sits a half-moon pair of glasses. His eyes are clear, friendly, and within them lives that calm intelligence that does not need to prove itself. He comes around the counter, and before he even asks anything, something warm is already in his tone. "Welcome," he says, as though the word here is not form, but posture. "Welcome in my shop." He smiles, and the smile is unhurried, as though there are no stopwatches in his room. "My name is Arthur." He makes a small bow, not theatrical, more like a gesture of attention. Then, only then, as if he has allowed himself the politeness first, comes the astonishment. His gaze travels over our clothing, over our very modern presence, over the way we stand here, and he looks honestly bewildered. "Forgive me," he says, and the apology is already inside the word, before any rudeness has even happened. "But how did you find this place?" We lift our hand. We show him the cube. And as we begin to explain that it sometimes appears to us, that it guides us, that it has brought us to places we can hardly put into words, that we received it from our grandfather, and to this day do not know how far its paths reach, we see something light up in Arthur's face. Not dramatically, more like a thought finally settling into the right place. He lifts his hand, very gently, not to stop us, to gather our words. "Ah," he says softly. And that "ah" sounds like recognition. "Ah, and now I understand." He looks at the cube as if seeing something rare, something you know, and yet never truly expect. Then he breathes out, and you can feel him remembering etiquette, as if surprise made him a bit too direct for a moment. "Please forgive me," he says, even more gently. "I was too quick." He smiles. "Welcome, truly welcome. You are safe here." And then he explains, without vanity, without drama, as though he is revealing a simple natural law of this place. This shop is hidden. He lets the word rest for a moment so it can become soft, not hidden behind walls, but behind perception. Most people walk past this door without seeing it, or they see it, and it means nothing to them. Some do not even see the courtyard. He lifts his gaze to us. Only those who are capable of magic, mages, witches, sorcerers, or those who are guided by something stronger than their ordinary world, can cross this threshold. His eyes lower to the cube again. And this, he says, almost reverently, this explains everything. He smiles again, small, satisfied. That is why I was surprised when I saw you. You do not carry the mark of those who find this place by their own strength, but with it, it makes sense. We feel our shoulders loosen. We feel warmth in this shop reach not only the skin, but the thoughts. Arthur gestures toward the shelves. Come, he says. Look around as long as you like. And if something unsettles you, ask. Here you do not need to know anything to be welcome. We feel our smile deepen, not from pride, from childlike joy, because it feels as though the world has just quietly confirmed you are allowed to be guided. Arthur notices the smile, and his own becomes softer. He leads us through the aisles, and as we walk, his hand occasionally brushes a label, straightens a bottle, touches a book, as though he is not moving objects, but tending relationships. He shows us what he is, without boasting. I taught for a long time, he says, and his tone reveals those years were not ambition, but devotion. Potions, essences, the quiet arts, the kind you only learn if you have patience. He stops at a shelf. He takes a small vial. This, he says, is for those whose sleep is disturbed by choose words. He places it back. He takes a tin. And this is salt that calms the room when the air becomes too heavy. We look at the objects. We let our eyes wander. And while we wander, we notice something. The two cloaked men are gone. We look toward the door. No bell rang. No steps sounded on the wood. It is as if they dissolved, like smoke settling into another pattern. Arthur notices our bewilderment before we even speak it. He nods toward the large mirrors. Not everyone goes through the door, he says calmly. And not every door is made of wood. We look back at the mirrors. Now they feel less like decoration, more like a reminder that paths do not always begin where you expect them. Arthur leads us onward, deeper into the shop. Then he stops. He tilts his head slightly, as if listening not to sounds, but to something in us. You are not here to buy something ordinary, he says, sure, without being forceful. Otherwise, the cube would not have led you to me. He looks at us. You are looking for something special. And before we can answer, he adds, almost kindly, not something you possess, but something you find again. We breathe out, because in that sentence there is rest. And, as so often when someone says the right thing, we suddenly realize how tired we truly are, how we have seen and walked and collected all day, while our inside did not keep up. Arthur nods, as if he has been waiting for exactly that. "Come," he says softly. "I will show you something that is not loud." He leads us behind the counter. The violet curtain opens, as if obeying not a hand, but habit. Behind it is not a storage room. It is a garden, under glass. Rain drums on the roof, muffled, like on a drum that only whispers. Plants grow in beds of dark, rich soil, herbs whose leaves shimmer with an inner light, mushrooms that glow like tiny lanterns, and in the middle stands a tree, gnarled, old. Its bark is full of grooves, and yet it does not look weathered. It looks awake, as if it is a silent guardian who does not own the garden, but protects it. The air here is different, cleaner, and yet fuller. Lavender, mint, resin, and a scent we cannot name, but which releases something in us at once, as if it deepens the breath. Arthur steps to a bed. He does not choose in haste. He chooses as if he knows each plant by name. 2, 3 leaves, a few dried tips, a tiny piece of bark. Then he goes to a small table where a heavy metal bowl stands. Not delicate, practical, like a tool that knows its work. He places the herbs inside, takes a pestle, and begins to grind them, slowly, calmly. The sound is soft, dull, almost soothing, like rain on wood. As he grinds, a first fragrance rises. At first, hardly there. Then, clearer. Not sweet, not heavy. More clarifying. As if the garden itself takes a deep breath. He pours the mixture into a second bowl, flatter, with a low rim. Then he places a candle beneath it. The flame is small, gold. It does not tremble. It burns steadily, as if it, too, is a quiet being. The herbs begin to awaken, not through fire, through warmth. A thread of smoke rises, fine, spiraling, not biting, soft. It does not take the air away. It only changes it. Arthur turns to us. "Sit," he says. And only now do we see the place made for it. A chaise longue. That long, elegant resting couch from old salons. From rooms where you do not simply sit. You recline, as if resting itself were an art. The cushion is deep, the fabric heavy. A small table stands nearby, ready for the bowl. Arthur takes a blanket from a hook. It does not look like wool or linen or anything we can name at once. He lays it over our legs, carefully, as if covering something living. And when the blanket touches our skin, we feel at once. It is unlike anything we know. Soft, yes, but not smooth soft. Soft like warm mist, like fur that does not itch, like something that does not only hold warmth, but gives it. It has a weight that comforts, and at the same time, a lightness that does not trap the body. We pull it slightly higher, and we smile again, because even this fabric calms something in us we could not calm all day. Arthur sets the smoking bowl on the table beside us. Then he steps back. He does not examine us. He looks satisfied, as if he has put something back into order. The cube, he says softly, does not bring you here so that you can be amazed. He smiles. It brings you here so that you remember. We breathe in. The scent is there, like a garden after rain, like wood warmed through, like a book you open and whose first page immediately says, "You do not need to hurry." We hear the rain on the glass roof. We hear nothing else. No traffic, no pushing, no counting inside us. Only drops, only warmth, only breath. And in this moment, we realize that London outside is not less beautiful just because we cannot see it now. On the contrary, it feels as though the city has only truly arrived in us now that we are still. Arthur makes a small bow. Not theatrical, simple. "Stay as long as you like," he says. "The night is long enough to become light." Then he returns to the shop. The violet curtain falls behind him, and the garden remains, and the smoke, and the chaise longue, and us. We feel the shoulders grow heavy, not with burden, with rest. We feel the eyelids soften. The cube is somewhere with us, warm, quiet, content, perhaps in our hand, perhaps on our lap, perhaps simply near, like a faithful companion. We do not need to check, because we have arrived, not at a place on a map, at a state. We breathe out, and with the exhale, something releases that we carried all day without noticing. The hurry, the list, the invisible stopwatch. It does not fall away like a stone. It dissolves like smoke, very gently, very naturally. We hear the rain. We smell the scent. We feel the warmth. We close our eyes, not as a decision, as a consequence, because tiredness is not sharp now. It is soft. It settles over us like the blanket, and we fall asleep, quietly, slowly, as if the night does not swallow us, but carries us. At some point, there is light, not bright, not sudden, a lighter gray sliding through the glass roof as if morning is knocking. Carefully, we open our eyes. The smoke is almost gone, only a faint remaining scent hanging in the air like a friendly memory. The blanket is still over us, warm, and we can feel that we truly slept, not dozed, slept with that deep calm that does not come from exhaustion, but from letting go. We sit up slowly. The garden lies still. The tree stands there like a guardian who demands nothing. We stand. We step through the curtain back into the shop. Out front, it is quiet, almost empty. The shelves stand as they stood. The light is still warm, but it feels as though the shop itself has folded the night away. Arthur is nowhere to be seen. No footsteps, no voice, not even the feeling that someone is missing. More the feeling that everything is exactly right. We go to the door. Our hand on the handle is warm. We step outside. A few steps, and the world is London again, only different. The streets begin to fill. Voices, a distant clatter as shops open. The rain has become a fine drizzle, and the air is clear. We breathe in and notice we are no longer rushing, no longer calculating, no longer collecting. We are simply here. We turn around to take one more look back, and there is no door, no sign, no warm window. The courtyard is there, yes, but the shop is no longer visible, as if it never existed. For a moment we blink, as if sleep is still in our eyes. Then we understand. It is gone because we do not need it right now, because the stress that drove us through the city no longer clings to us, because we can see again without counting. We smile and we walk on, slowly. London is still full of promises, but we do not have to fulfill them all today. It is enough to be here, now. And the morning, this quiet, gray, gentle morning, walks with us, as if it too is part of the magic.